With Angry Birds Star Wars 2 being 100%ed on this channel, it only made sense to go through and 100% the first game. In this case, I decided to get the Platinum Trophy in the PS4 version because I prefer getting trophies rather than nothing, but I'll only highlight the ones necessary for 100% completion. Before we move on, I wanted to mention I am aware of the hundreds upon hundreds of comments I got, and still getting daily asking to 100% complete Angry Birds Transformers. But I always said no, as the game literally takes years to fully complete. But you know what? If we get 75,000 to 80,000 subs before January 1st, I'll go ahead and do it. Of course, we will need to make a compromise, so I'll get into the details at the end of the video. Anyway, on this channel, I pretty much 100% old games that I also grew up on, but believe it or not, Angry Birds Star Wars is the one Angry Birds game I never grew up playing. I did have the free version, so I have cleared Tatooine many times as a kid, but I never had the opportunity to play any further than that. This means pretty much everything in this game is brand new to me, which made this probably one of the hardest Angry Birds games I had at 100% yet. What's required to complete this game is to of course beat each world and get all 3 stars in every single one, and find the 5 hidden Boba Fett jetpacks and the 5 golden probes, which is this game's equivalent of golden eggs from the older titles. And finally, reach an absurdly high score for each overall world. We start in Tatooine, the only world I actually got to play as a kid, and yeah, this world was relatively easy for the most part, and because of this, I decided to get every 3 stars here as I got through it. Before I just skip to the clips of me starting and clearing the world, I want to mention the space levels in this game and how much I honestly hated them. Now obviously it makes sense to have levels that take place in space, in fact it would be pretty stupid if we didn't, but man, I sucked at pretty much every space level in this game because the physics and most of them were just janky as crap. I'll get into detail on the really hard ones, but about half of the levels in this game take place in space, and I hate to say it, but I despised pretty much all of them. Tatooine of course has some space levels, but pretty much all of them take place on ground, and each level no matter what was obviously simple here considering this is the tutorial world. During World 1, I got quite a lot of random miscellaneous trophies which aren't worth mentioning, but what is worth mentioning is even though I decided to go for every 3 star right off the bat, I decided to ignore the high score trophy in each world. Reason being, people say that these trophies is what makes the Platinum a 6 or even 7 out of 10 difficulty, so I would just ignore it until the very end. Okay, 3 star? Cool. So I will say so far, you guys, there have been a few challenging levels here and there. I think it's mostly because the fact that this is space levels, and I wasn't really too big of a fan of the space physics in the second game, but there just wasn't a whole lot. I would say this chapter alone made up literally every single space level that was featured in the second game, so that's probably why this one was honestly a little challenging. Let's go. Get the last guy. Cool. Well, there you go. I honestly think that's already a 3 star. I'm pretty confident in that one. Tatooine, all stars. There we go. And that's no moon. Before we move on to World 2, just wanted to say the reason why the music is so loud is because you can't adjust it for some reason. But anyways, moving on to World 2, we need to go up against the Death Star, and man, I cannot say I like this world. As I've mentioned earlier, I sucked at the space levels, and on top of that, and trust me, I'm not saying this game sucks, I just think the levels are so boring, and that goes for every space level. There are 2 examples I have for really hard levels for this world, and a quick one is this one. I forgot which one it is, but you gotta nail a perfectly timed and angled blast at this iron block and nail both the TIE fighter and the tower on this little planet, with the bullets and tower you shot taking care of the other pigs. Now, obviously, the level in general is simple enough, but you gotta do it all with this one bird for the 3 star, and man, it took a while to clear this one out. We do eventually get grounded levels in this world, which are actually pretty solid, especially the ones where you just tear levels up with Chewbacca, but sadly, it's pretty short-lived. The final level in this world was easily the hardest, and maybe even a contender for top 10 hardest levels to 3 star, so check it out. Yo, wait, fucking carpet, same turret shot Chewbacca 6 times with a direct hit. That's a trophy? What in the world? Well, hey, you know what? A trophy's a trophy, man. Let's keep going. Final level, let's go. Wow. This is gonna be a rough one. I don't know how I ever got that. Hold on! Alright. We're back at this point again. Have been many times. One bird, final guys. So, yeah, scary as always, but we got it! Oh! Oh my gosh, I think we did it, bruh. That's 82,000 right there. Holy crap, give me my freaking trophy. Where the flip is my trophy, dog? No, I accidentally skipped a level? Are you kidding? Who knows, maybe we can do this? Yo. Okay. That's like 12,000 more. Here we go. Death Star All-Stars. Oh my goodness. That last level, man, and the fact that I forgot one. Brutal. Brutal. Whatever. And now move on to World 3, which in my opinion is the best world to come out of this game. It takes place in Hoth, where we get to battle AT-AT walkers, which takes place in most of the levels, creating some really awesome areas that actually makes each level feel different from the last, which I think this game suffers from. We get to use Leia here as well, making stages using the ability of each bird, which again makes some really cool stages. This world is probably one of the easiest to 3-star, which makes the high score trophy here brutal. But for now, this world was relatively simple. The best part about this world is of course the lack of space levels. What? Ooh, that was a rough one. Yo, there's a fat one. What in the world? There's a big old fat one. Minok Tangle. Minok popped with another Minok in 6 levels. Okay. Oh, that was cracked. Yo. So where's the other guy? What in the world just happened? What in the world just happened? That was funny. Hoth All-Stars. There you go. That was fun. World 4 takes place in Cloud City, and there's nothing to actually talk about. I figured like the previous 3 worlds, there would be a trophy for clearing it and getting all the 3 stars and all that jazz. It was going easy thanks to only 20 levels being featured here rather than the usual 40. Then I got to the end, and there's no trophies. So I cleared out that world just to see I didn't have to. That was pretty dumb. In fact, as we've been getting the golden probes where you play as R2-D2, I've been playing and 3-starring them all as well, just to see there's no trophies related to these either. On the bright side, I didn't totally waste my time as I had to at least beat the first 19 levels of Cloud City so I can get a Boba Fett jetpack and unlock the bonus Boba Fett world, which was home to a pretty hard trophy where I needed to hit Boba so he'd fly away, and I had to get lucky enough where he would destroy 25 blocks in one go. Go more into the ground, come on. Come on, yeah. Cool, cool. Come on. Pull harder. Pull, bro. Would this still count as a whole, as a single flight of Boba? Oh, it does! Blockbuster, dude. This was freaking tough, man. Oh, that was a hard one. Oh, that was a hard one. That was indeed a hard one, but it's time to do Yoda's training. It's time to train with Yoda. With that pretty random moment there, we move on to the final base world of this game, the Path of the Jedi. This world has us fighting pig dummies and a Vader dummy in each level. This world feels a lot like Tatooine, just a lot harder. This world was actually a huge pain to get through, as this world does not mess around. I'd say only like 5 levels here were pretty BS to 3-star, plus some for the high score, while the rest was just a simple challenge, like every other level in this game. I don't know what it is, but a lot of these levels literally feel like upgraded Tatooine levels, which isn't really a bad thing, but this world was pretty friggin' boring, dude, I cannot lie. There was one level in particular that felt impossible to beat, and that's because of the way this game optimizes aiming bullets and whatnot from the touchscreen. When you throw a bird like Han Solo, as the bird moves, your aimer thing constantly gets adjusted with the bird, making it take like 8 years just to aim out to what you want to shoot. And that leads to this level, which again, I forgot the number. Here, you gotta throw red down to the bottom and blow up this huge TNT. Then you gotta shoot Chuck up at the pig up here, and you need to aim a perfect shot at the stupid survivor down below, which is impossible with how this game optimized aiming. Not only was it hard just to simply pull this off, but at times I actually would by some miracle, just to be like 500 points away from the 3-star, forcing me to do it all over again. This is literally one of the only levels I honestly think is hard just to simply 3-star, and it took me like 10 years to get through it. There are certainly some other levels that would test your skills and even luck, such as this rock one where you have to rely solely on a boulder nailing a blaster ball to destroy enough stuff for you, but honestly I've played plenty of Angry Birds, especially recently, so it didn't really take all that long. I'm a genius! No freaking way. Yikes, dude. Freaking yikes. I don't know if that's a 3-star. It freaking was. Wow. Holy smokes, man. Before we can finally move on to the next step of this platinum, or 100% if you will, the PS4 version of this game gives us 20 exclusive levels to beat. And holy crap, is this part of the game actually pretty goated, and the reason being is because we actually get stages that are built around the PS4 control scheme. My main gripe with this game isn't even the game itself, it's the fact that they made the controls work against the stages we got here. But we actually get stages that can function here. This was probably the best 20 stages in the whole game. Now, yeah, I could have just played the PC version and I would have never had these issues, but the trophies are based, okay? Either way, not much to say, it's just more Angry Birds, but at least this time around, it was easy to 3-star. I don't know, I think I have a better idea. Of course I do, I'm smart. I'm a genius. Boom, that was plenty simple. You know, that's probably already 3-star, honestly, second attempt. And it was all too easy. That seriously was all too easy. I mean, that was crazy easy 3-stars. Very easy 3-stars. Now, my next question is, wherever I did that, I don't know where I did that. Path of the Jedi. So there is a points one. Oh, think about a different one. Where was it? This. Is there? There is no certain score trophy for this, I guess. We don't have to worry about it, I suppose. So yeah, literally all we have left is the multiplayer stuff, and then getting a certain score in each level. And I guess fail 10 times with 1 pig left. I don't know why I haven't done this already. Here I go. Here we go. Fork side of the force. Fail level 10 times with 1 pig left. With all the worlds, I guess 99% completed for now, before I move on to the miserable part of this platinum, the console version of this game has yet another exclusive feature, and that's multiplayer mode. There were only 4 trophies to get, and it only took around 20 minutes to finish. Oh wait, I only need 1 controller. I only need one controller. I think this is only one. Take your shot. Okay. Why does it take so long to load? Alright, there we go. Play a multiplayer game with a total of 4 players. There you go. And, well, look at you. Earn your first bonus score within a multiplayer match. We have to do that 9 more times. 9 more. It took me like 5 minutes to do it with one guy. Okay, everyone, so this should be the last part of the multiplayer. In between this, I actually did, I think, 30 Millennium Falcon medals because so much loading has to happen just for this freaking game to continue. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm playing on the PS5, because it does say there might be issues with the game if you play it on a PS5, not a PS4. A few games are like that. This is one of them. Maybe that's the cause, but the freaking loading screens just to get through like one bird on this in multiplayer is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, please let me win. Oh! Oh! Oh, let's scar. Oh, shoot, we got it. I didn't even hear it go off. I was texting a friend of mine. Unlock all the bonus scores within multiplayer mode. Yay, it's time. Alright, and now we have the grindy and awful part of this platinum, and that is getting a crazy high score in all worlds except the exclusive ones in Cloud City, of course. Now, the hard part comes from Hoth and Path of the Jedi, but honestly, it started off pretty easy in Tatooine. I mean, it is the tutorial world of this game after all. I was already pretty close to the score I needed, which was 2,380,000 points. In order to reach the goal, all I did was replay pretty much every level and try to get my score as high as I possibly could. The nicest part is this was possible in Tatooine within the first 20 levels, so I didn't even have to play the space levels. Tatooine only took like 2 hours to finish maybe. Then we have the Death Star. Oh boy, more space levels. But to avoid doing so, I just worked on the final 20 level scores, and thanks to this world being relatively simple as well, and already being close to the required 3,180,000 points, the Death Star score trophy was also pretty easy to get. Then we have Hoth and the Path of Jedi. This took me 15 hours. 15 hours to clear these 2 worlds. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know how to explain what I went through because all I did was sit there listening to music while replaying the same levels over and over and over again for 15 hours. These 2 worlds had the most greedy, stupid scores to get, man. Hoth required 3,450,000, so I needed like 350,000 more points. In each level, I was barely getting any after tons of practice. I had to use a guide on pretty much every level here and read comments and videos to see what exactly I needed to do just to squeeze out any amount of points I could. Even by the end, I was literally 600 points away from the end, and it still took like 20 minutes to get them. I want to talk about how bad Hoth was, but Hoth only took 5 hours to get, while Path of the Jedi was 10. So geez, just pop that Hoth trophy and let's just move on, as it only gets worse. Path of the Jedi. I had to replay this world from the beginning to end so many times just to reach the score goal. In fact, while going through these stupid levels, I had to find this other random YouTube channel going for world record scores in every level. And I had to actually recreate these strategies. And on PSN leaderboards, I actually got put on the leaderboard for top 10 highest scores in certain levels a few times, dude. These levels were absolutely abysmal to get better scores in. I almost questioned if this was even possible. Yet at the same time, my brain is empty. There's nothing to say. Literally all I did was sit here, watch some movies, get up and pee every now and then, and just mindlessly play the game for 10 hours. Bro, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see very well. Maybe, I can barely tell on my camera, but so I got, what, 34 hours on Angry Birds now? Look at this. I don't have my 30 hours trophy yet, man. How does having 34 hours played in the game so far not grant me a trophy for playing 30? I have 34, dude. kind of got to be quiet because I'm supposed to be in school right now. And right as I got the platinum, my mom bursted into my room. So I'm probably screwed, but here, let's just look at this real quick. I'll have to talk more like after. In fact, I'm probably going to talk about it later, but so we're going to have to talk about this later. I'm literally screwed, but there we go. There is the platinum. Okay, guys. Weirdest trophy pop platinum. Weirdest platinum trophy pop ever. So, Dad, if you're watching this video, this game took 10 hours longer than anticipated, and I wanted to be done already. So, final thoughts on the platinum. Took 10 hours longer than I thought. I thought it was only going to take 30. And when I was at the 25-hour mark, I only had like, what, 2 trophies left? 3 if you include the 30-hour trophy, of course. Which didn't pop until I had 34. But the last 2 trophies ended up being infinitely times harder than I ever imagined. So, yeah. 6 out of 10 I think is valid, but honestly, I might even give it a 7, you guys. I don't know. This platinum was, very hard. Yo. Angry Birds Transformers. Is Angry Birds Transformers, and why I'm saying we gotta nearly double, not nearly, like literally over double our subs in order for me to actually 100% Angry Birds Transformers. So as of right now, as of me recording this on my GoPro, I have 32,680 subscribers, and I said 75,000 to 80,000 per just 75,000, which is like 15,000 or 13,000 more than 30,000. So yeah, that's over double my current amount. And why would I have such a big goal for the last 2.5 months of the year? Like, it's pretty messed up. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years now, and I'm saying we gotta double it in 2 months for me to do Angry Birds Transformers. That is a pretty beefy goal. So first of all, it's because Angry Birds Transformers, while it is possible to 100%, it's pretty much impossible. If I were to be working on it, you wouldn't know, because it takes 7 years. Yes, it takes 7 years to 100% Angry Birds Transformers, and that is why I won't be doing it. Now, I said in the intro, if by some miracle I actually hit 75,000 subscribers, we would have to make a compromise, and that compromise is this. Because of how practically impossible it is to 100% Angry Birds Transformers, I will do the utmost that I could, which would take about a year, and that is beating the whole game and unlocking every regular bird and bonus bird in the whole game. Now, beating the game only nets you, I would say, about half of the people in the game, and the other half you can just get on your own free time within the base game, and then you have the event pigs and birds to get, which are seasonal based. And that would take the course of 1 full year. If we did get to 75,000 subs a year by the end of the year, again, it's practically impossible for it to 100% the game, but my compromise will be I'll still pour the next year of my life into it, which is a lot, which is why a part of me kind of hopes we don't hit that number, but if we do, hey, I'll do it. I did talk a lot here. I've been talking for 5 minutes, so you're probably going to hear like 2 minutes worth of what I said, which will be very bare bones and not too deep in detail. But if you kind of got the gist of what I'm saying, and it did happen, we would go into tons of detail in the actual video. There you guys have it. That is a part of my Angry Birds Transformers compromise if we somehow hit 75,000 subs, and the Angry Birds Star Wars Platinum Trophy, or 100%, however you want to say it. I like to say 100%. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the Angry Birds Star Wars 2 100% completion, and I hope to see you all in the next video. And if you did like it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.